Ready, set, go.
Welcome. I'm back. We're back.
Woo!
Welcome.
Guess who's back?
It's me. Yeah. Hello, dude. Thanks for being here.
Toot toot.
Welcome to what is going to be an exciting new segment of the Twitch channel, and by extension, the YouTube channel. Welcome to Tall Lanky Audio Theatre. This is going to be something that's going to be happening like every other week, where it's either going to be some sort of tabletop RPG, or it's going to be like a live reading of a book, or seeing as like a few of us are writers, we're going to be reading stuff that we've written, whether it be plays or stories or whatnot. It's going to be happening. Yes. If during the stream you follow or subscribe or do anything like send me a Tall Lanky hydration or whatnot, I'm not going to address it at the moment that it happens. I'll address it at the end of the stream. So don't worry. You will get your 5 seconds in the spotlight. Without further ado, I'm going to throw it up onto the little beautiful thumbnail that Alicia has made for us, and I'll hand things off to our wonderful DM, Katie.
You walk over the cobblestone streets of the bustling city, following the hastily scribbled map in your hands. Stepping past the large collections of market stalls, vendors, and tradesmen, you exit the beautiful, vibrant city of Everhast through one of its many archways, the cobblestones giving way to natural dirt roads that meander across the green countryside. Looking out over the hills, you can see many fields full of livestock grazing away happily amongst the wildflowers that border the forest. Along your way, you notice the crowds thinning, until finally you are left alone with these strangers that walk beside you following their own maps, until you all realize you're seemingly headed towards the same destination. A heavy, wrought iron gate, open and leaning against 2 large, gnarled oak trees grown through the railings. A few awkward moments pass as you all exchange glances, before an excitable shout rings down the lane. Welcome, welcome! So glad you could all make it. Albeit a little late, but that's understandable given my terrible directions. A tall, elderly half-elf greets you, gesturing you all further up the lane towards the grand manor sitting within the trees. The air, thick with musk and lavender, hits you as you all step onto the wooden floors in the reception hall. Without a beat, you are all quickly ushered into the quiet sitting room, books lining a few of the walls and multiple armchairs, sofas, and general seating scattered oddly around the room. Sitting in one of the armchairs closest to the fire, you see a human woman glance up at you before going back to her notes, while an older-looking noblewoman scoffs at your late entry from across the room. Lounging back on one of the sofas, you see 2 elderly gentlemen laughing together, much to the disgust of the haughty noblewoman picking through the books behind them. Opposite, you see a meek but smiling young tiefling woman perched on the edge of another armchair, clearly invested in whatever conversation had brought the gentleman to laughter. The high elf smiles as he ushers you all forward. As you take your respective seats around the room, you hear the old man clear his throat. Spreading his arms out wide, he nods across to all of you in appreciation. Well, now that the rest of our guests have arrived, I suppose I should introduce myself formally. My name is Lord Burkstaff, and welcome to Moonveil Manor. Kim, would you introduce your character, please?
Sure. I am playing Aunty Brist, a rabbit folk monk. She got started on her adventures not too long ago when she received a letter in the mail telling her she had to save a princess. Not knowing that this was a mistake, she went on her adventure and found her princess. Now she's looking for new adventure.
Janet, would you introduce your character, please?
I play a foreclaimer, which is a type of elf, and she is a cleric who has been a mercenary for a good while, and she is finally ready to retire, but this is her one last thing that she gets to do before she retires in a nice cottage out in the woods somewhere. She's very excited to get this over and done with so that she can go and have a peaceful retirement that she thinks she deserves.
Connor, would you introduce your character, please?
Yeah, sure. So I'm playing Slapper Bunwhisk. He's a rock gnome warlock. He's just a little guy, and he was just resting, relaxing as best he can in his home when he got a knock at the door. He opened it. He opened the door. There was no one there, but he saw the little map on the little front step, and Slapper, as much as he wants to appear very like jovial and whatnot, is actually quite paranoid, and so he figured he knew better than to ignore such a strange occurrence. So he immediately packed up some things and started following these directions.
Emmett, would you introduce your character, please?
Yeah, so you see there is a rather tall, horned figure who has already sort of sat down and seemingly joined in with one of the ongoing conversations. This figure is quite tall and has goat-like legs. This is the satyr Mavros Fillipos. He is a paladin and wears threadbare chainmail with almost a greenish tinge, much like his skin. He's got a little bit of a goatee. His hair is almost the same color as his armor, this almost greenish tinge, and wears a sort of wooden shield over his back, one that is ornately carved with all sorts of intricate patterns and such.
Wizard, would you introduce your character, please?
Okay. I am playing Qrowe, a human gunbreaker who is currently trying to lay low after freeing his village under a tyrant's thumb.
Excellent. Mavros, who are you chatting with?
I think I've sat down in the conversation where I heard laughter, and where I heard I believe it was an older gentleman as well as a tiefling that are sort of in a corner laughing. I heard that, and I think I sort of went over and joined in relatively quickly.
Excellent. So you sit down with the two older gentlemen and the young tiefling woman. And the two brothers introduce themselves as the Fairbrand brothers. They're loud. They're very funny. And neither of them remember their name or their brother's name. So they just know each other as the Fairbrand brothers. The young woman in tiefling introduces herself as Amy O'Hare. And she was, she says this very uncomfortably, handpicked by Lord Burkstaff after serving him at a restaurant in Everhast. And she's very visibly nervous and kind of shy, but you can see that she's very, very interested in you, your appearance, eyes glancing back and forth between your holy symbol, your weapon, your armor, just you're a satyr.
Yeah, so I think
for many of these people, they've never actually seen a satyr before. They've only heard stories. So you're actually attracting a lot of attention. Aunty Brist, you're attracting a lot of attention for the same reason.
Aunty Brist is loving it.
Yeah, no one's directly interacting with you yet, but lots of eyes on you.
I think she makes eye contact with one of the people sitting closest to her, and kind of just looks at them and gives them a little wink. She's 80, by the way.
Yes. Qrowe, what would you be doing right now?
I'd just be surveying what's going on, keeping my eye on people.
Roll me a perception check, please.
Okay. Perception, don't have that. So I don't have that checked off, so I just roll flat. That's a 4.
So 4. Okay. You're a little uncomfortable in the situation. This is one of the more posh events that you've been invited to. Possibly one of the biggest houses you've ever been in. So feeling a little out of your element. There's just a lot going on in this room, and you're not really able to focus on anything specific. Your attention is just drawn to a number of different places.
I'm just trying to keep to myself.
Cool.
If someone comes up to me, just a brief introduction and keep on walking.
Sure. Alime.
I think I'm gonna go sit near the noblewoman.
Sure.
And just kind of keep an eye on her, see what she's about. Don't want to talk to her yet.
Okay, roll an insight check.
Okie doke. That is a 16, and I have a +6 to insight.
22. Excellent. Very good. You know, looking at her, you notice that she's very precise. Everything about her is very precise. Her outfit, like the lines of her silhouette, the length of her cuffs on her shirt and on her pants. Every single hair is in place. Everything is the exact right tailor. Her hair is perfectly trimmed. She carries a small bag with her, which she has a hand on most of the time. Not protective, more so like a comforting kind of thing. She prefers to know where it is at all times, just for her own well-being. You can see tucked into the side of that bag, you see a couple quills, and you see a couple pieces of paper just through a crack. You rolled really well. You can see just a couple pieces of paper that seem to have weird symbols that you've never seen before. And she notices you looking at her, and she gives you the same once over and just turns away.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected her to do.
Slapper.
I am just kind of. I'm gonna try and keep to myself. I'm gonna like kind of watch where everyone is, but I'm gonna try and stay fairly out of the way. Yeah, I'm just gonna. He's, Slapper's fairly. Again, he's just a little guy. So yeah, he's just gonna stand off to the side. Excuse me, opening the door while I let Kato out.
Ketos.
Roll me a perception check, please, Connor.
Can do. Okay. Perception. That's gonna be a 17.
Okay. With a 17, glancing around the room, you're able to get a general idea of the people. We've already discussed the first 4, but the other human woman is very much like head lifted up, looks like she's physically trying to be taller than everyone else, which is not terribly possible. And she has her arms crossed across her chest, and she's just looking around and just looks very, very high and mighty and impatient. You can see that Lord Berkstaff is just glancing around, appreciating his guests. He looks very excited, very happy. There's a couple bookshelves in the room with an assortment of different kinds of books. There's the door that you came in from, which leads to the lobby. There's a door towards the back, opposite the lobby door, and then there's a door on either side that lead to different parts of the mansion.
Okay. I'm going to walk up to the satyr. And I'm gonna look, just walk right up to him and look up at him and be like, hi, my name is Slapper. What's your name?
Little one. I saw now it's just these two right here. They are brothers, but they do not know each other's names. My name is Mavros. You said Slapper, correct?
Yeah. My name is Slapper. Slapper Bunwhisk. It's good to meet you. You're real big and weird.
Yes, I get that a lot. I am from the land that is very, very far away. But that is a very long story, and unless you don't mind sitting down to hear the entire thing, we'll leave it at that. Was there something you needed?
No. I just think I just wanted to. I've never seen anyone that looks like you, so I wanted to talk to you and say hi.
Well, I appreciate that. That I seem like an interesting person to talk to. I think I have seen very few people like you, although I have been wandering for quite some time, so I guess I could say I have seen all sorts.
Yeah, there's definitely not a whole lot that's weird about me. No, sir. No, sir. Definitely not. Nah.
Yes, weird things about you other than the way that you just said.
Mavros, roll an insight check.
Sure, I will.
Slapper, roll deception, please.
Okay.
Oh dear.
I rolled a 17 total.
Okay.
And I rolled a 13 total.
Are you telling the truth? Is there anything interesting about you? I would say the answer to that question is yes.
The answer to that question is yes.
So, Mavros, you can indeed tell that he is lying.
Well, everyone, I would say that, well, everyone has something interesting about them. I'm sure that you have all sorts of things that you could either talk about or keep to yourself that could be considered interesting, but that is up to your own discretion.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know, man. I try to be like pretty normal. I just try to keep to myself. Anyway, it was really nice to meet you. I'm gonna go over here now. It was good to meet you, though. Hi, good to meet you. Bye-bye.
It was nice to meet you as well, little one.
Oh, God. Kim, Janet, Wizard, what are you doing?
Well, I'd like to go talk to our wonderful host. What was his name again?
Berkstaff.
Lord Berkstaff.
Berkstaff. I would like to go speak to Mr. Berkstaff. He seems like he's having a good time. And he seems like he might be the life of the party, so.
Okay.
Aunty Brist is always down for a laugh.
Yes. Hello, young lady. I'm so glad you were able to make it to our dinner party this weekend. It's so wonderful to have you here.
You flatter an old bird, or bunny, I suppose. But I'm sure that you've seen younger.
Oh, well,
Thank
as soon
you.
as I heard about your... What was it? The princess that you saved?
Yes.
Yes, she
No.
wrote me a letter shortly after that and said, "Oh, you need to meet this wonderful, wonderful woman, and you should really have her come to one of your parties. It would be the best way to get to know her, so I absolutely had to have you here."
Well, isn't that she was a sweetheart. Now, you know, for a hostage, she took it in stride, like nothing I've ever seen before. Not that I've seen many hostages, but
She's a very strong young woman.
tenacious one she is
Very.
indeed. Yes. Well, I am flattered that she'd send word to you and that you would invite me. You have a lovely home.
Thank you. I was actually, dinner is going to be another hour or so. So just 1 second here, and he grabs a tiny sword off the wall and lifts his glass and just... attention, everyone. Dinner is going to be a short while, so please feel free to continue to get acquainted with one another, and feel free to take a look around the manor. It is quite beautiful. It's been in my family for many generations, which, as you know, for us, is quite a while. Should you need anything, please just ask one of the servants. I will be in my room until dinner time. Off you go. And then he turns to Aunty Brist. Once again, thank you for coming. We'll see you at dinner. And then he exits the room through the back door, leaving the doors open behind him, and you can see that it goes into a small hallway with a grand staircase leading up to the second floor. Excuse me. And hallways go down each side of this large staircase as well.
Can I? Very interested in this gentleman. Would it be weird if I kind of stuck my head into the doorway that he went into and see if I can? Where he might be going, or did he just?
He heads up that large staircase.
Okay.
At the top of that large staircase, you can see, peeking your head through the door, you can see that it goes up. And then there's sort of like a balcony that wraps around that room. And you can see there's 2 doors on the left and right, and then 5 across the back wall, the largest of which is right in the middle, and that's the one that he goes into.
Okay. Aunty Brist is gonna make a quick note of that. For sure. And yeah, I'm gonna just kind of back away from the door for now and kind of reconvene with the other members in the room.
Okay. Alime, Qrowe?
I think Alime is going to, unceremoniously just like toss her shield and shit on the floor, beside her, because she's traveled far enough with it on.
As you toss your stuff onto the ground, a young human boy appears and says, "Would you like me to take that up to your room, miss?"
No, thank you, son. I'm gonna keep it with me.
Oh, well,
Never know when you're gonna need it.
Lord Bergstaff would not be happy with it just left on the floor here, so if you could please hold on to it, or let me take it up to your room for you, that would be really great.
When I get up, it'll come with me.
Okay, and then he walks away.
Is the noblewoman still near Alime?
Yeah, she hasn't moved.
Okay. So Alime's going to turn to her and just say, "I'm Alime. And you?"
Harriet Lockwell.
Nice to meet you, Harriet.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
So what are you here for? What's special about you?
Well, what a comment. You'd think someone who's been alive as old as you have would know better than to make such rude comments.
Someone that's been alive as long as I am doesn't give a shit anymore.
I have been a friend of the Burkstaffs for a number of years. Lord Burkstaff and I have worked together a couple of times, and he has me writing his autobiography for him. He's helping, of course, otherwise it would just be a biography. But he's having me do all the finite details.
Now, can I do a quick check? I know you said the strange symbols on her paper. What would I roll to see if I recognize those?
What languages do you speak, first of all?
Elvish and Common.
Okay. Well, it depends on what you think they might be, because you could roll just general intelligence, you could roll history, you could roll arcana.
Why don't I roll history, because I'm now remembering the stuff that was on her paper.
Sure.
11.
It's not something you recognize in really any way, shape, or form. It's very, very abnormal.
Okay. So, Alime is going to say to her, so you're a scribe then?
It's one of my many talents.
And the others?
One should offer something about themselves before asking for more from a stranger.
Fair enough. Longtime mercenary, cleric. I'm this close. And she holds up her fingers like a millimeter apart to retiring.
Ah, one of the godly type. I like you more now.
Yes, indeed.
Well, you asked about my other talents. I've been told I'm quite a talented cook. I helped Lord Burkstaff create the menu for the weekend. And I have begun to dabble recently in cryptography.
Cryptography. Very nice.
Yes. And now that I have offered more of me, if I may ask, which god do you follow?
I didn't think this far ahead.
Figure it out fast.
I don't know.
What domain did you pick?
Life.
Oh, frick. Hold on.
When with Bahamut.
I didn't think it would matter.
I have D&D Beyond open right now. I'm working on it. Where's the gods of the multiverse? I'm just gonna pick one for you.
Yep, pick one for me, baby.
Life,
I'm
life.
This is my first time playing a cleric.
We're gonna go with Shanto, the goddess of agriculture.
Gotcha.
That work?
Yep.
Nothing like agriculture.
So,
We love Shanto. She's important.
We
love
love,
Shanto
we
in this
love
stuff.
us some agriculture.
Yes. Agriculture.
Agriculture.
Sorry, I'm from southern Alberta.
Agriculture's real big here.
Agriculture.
We got so much agriculture up in here.
So, while
I think it'd be
Alime
the only thing we
is
do.
while Alime is now making friends with a previously snooty lady, Qrowe, you've been given permission to explore. What would you like to do?
I'll take a quick walk around, see what's going on, before I find a nice, kind of quiet spot to sit.
Sure, where would you like to go first? As I said, the back door leads up to a hallway which wraps around the large staircase, and the large staircase leads to the second floor. And there's also doors on either side of this room as well.
I think I'll just take a peruse down the ground level.
Sure. Would you like to go left first, right first, or around the staircase?
Let's go around the staircase.
Sure, left side or right side?
Left side.
Left side. Okay. So you head towards the staircase, and you turn left and head down the hallway. And there's a single, fairly nice door that is slightly ajar.
I'll go in.
You head in, and inside is Lord Berkstaff's library. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves with, like the old rolling ladders that slide along each wall. And when I say floor-to-ceiling, I mean floor-to-ceiling. This is an enormous room. It seems almost too big for the manor, but somehow it's there. Books of any and all topics can be found here. And in the middle of the room, there's a very cozy-looking seating area with a couple couches and a couple armchairs, a small coffee table.
Is there anyone in there, or it's just empty?
No one's in there at the moment. At this time, the people from the main hall, non-party members from the main hall, all begin to get up and either head to their own rooms, which they have already been directed to, or begin to explore the manor themselves.
I think I'll take a nice seat.
Sure. Okay. The rest of you, what would you like to do? Everyone else is getting up to explore.
I think Mavros will stay in his conversation. I wanted to ask them, actually.
Okay.
So, at one point during the conversation, so I say, so, you said that you do not know each other's names, even though you are brothers. Are there other things you don't remember, or is it just the names?
Well, I think it's just the names. Yeah, I think if we didn't know anything else, we wouldn't remember that we don't know it. And they both laugh. I think
That
it's
makes
just
a lot of
because
sense.
I think it's just 'cause we're old, Sonny. Yeah, we haven't done
Understood.
anything exciting enough to lose our names. Yeah, you didn't run into the Fae and give them away, did ya? Nah, I wouldn't do something like that.
Well,
Unless they took that memory too. And then they both chuckle again.
I know many Fae. I grew up with them.
They both
took
point
the
at you.
names, they would be the type.
And they've got drinks in their left hands, and they both point at you with their right hand, like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme. Like, you.
Yes. Well, as a child, I grew up in the Feywild, but that was long, long ago. It has been many years. I don't remember.
That makes sense. Well, we're gonna go to our room.
It is already getting late, is it not?
We just want to rest a bit before dinner time.
I see.
You should go explore. This place is pretty cool.
Well, I may go and look and see if there is a garden around or such.
The two brothers stand up and stretch and head up to their room as well.
I sort of look to the tiefling who has been sort of sitting and listening, and I say, would you like to take a look around the garden? Afraid I'll get lost.
I don't know my way around here either.
Well, perhaps we could both try and not to get lost then together.
I think I'm just gonna go to the library. Thank you though. And she gets up and very quickly scurries away.
To each their own. And yes, I think I'll go outside.
Slapper hears this conversation and goes and follows Mavros.
Okay, you guys both head out the front door and into the gardens. It's not much out there right now. It's early spring, so there's a few blooms, but not many. The hedges are just starting to come back into green. Yeah, it's mostly unimpressive and a little bit chilly.
I think so. Mavros will take a look at one of the flowers that is growing there and take a long, hearty sniff, and we'll look to Slapper. Like, I think Mavros, as of yet, hasn't said anything as Slapper sort of just followed him out. He takes a sniff and then turns and says, do you think they would be mad if I took this flower?
I don't know. I won't tell anyone if you don't say anything.
Understandable. I think I'll put it in my little book. I like to collect these, you see.
What's your favorite? Which one's your favorite?
So Mavro sort of reaches into his little satchel and pulls out a not a hardy tome, but like a small book, and sort of opens it up. It's like, it is hard to choose a favorite. I think I see something special in each little one of these. If you see here this beautiful snapdragon, I have had it for many, many years, and it has grown quite dry, but I still like to look at it.
Slapper goes, and he's very clearly like intrigued by this little flower, and he goes to poke it.
Careful, it will crumble if you touch it too much.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No. It is okay. Here, do you want to pick that one for me?
Yeah, he picks the flower.
Thank you.
And he's
Slapper,
also
roll a nature check for me.
Oh, sure. I can do those. Oh, that's a 21.
Hey.
Cool. You pick the flower.
Nice. He is going to very hastily, as soon as he's got it in his hands, he immediately puts it into Mavros' hand.
Thank you. And I will press it into my book and go through my little procedure and set it in there and put it back in my pack.
Sure.
Thank you for that. It is a rather crisp night, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen worse evenings, but it's definitely on the chillier side, I'd say.
I do not mind the cold, but I think everyone else would prefer to be inside.
Yeah, there's a lot of people inside, so sometimes I get a little worried. I get really nervous around a lot of people.
I understand. I often prefer to be out amongst the wilds rather than inst amongst the people as well myself, but I like to say hi when I can and show my face. It is an interesting one, no?
That's a weird face, all right. You got right there.
I get that often. I get that often. Let's go inside, yes?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And I think we're gonna head back in.
Sure. Alime and Aunty Brist, what would you like to do?
Well, I think Aunty Brist, being the nosy lady that she is going to go to the kitchens, because that's where the best gossip is.
Sure.
From her experience, the best gossip is the kitchens.
Sure. So, as your luggage is taken up to your room for you, you ask the young boy which way to the kitchen, and you head to the east or west side of the house. It's quite a large kitchen. It's very busy right now, as dinner is impending. It's a number of people working, mostly elves, half-elves, humans. And then there's a small door towards the back that leads to the pantry.
Okay.
No one is really paying you much attention. They're all just very focused on their work.
Okay. I think she goes to the stove, and she's snooping. She kind of shimmies herself in there if there's somebody in front of the stove stirring things, and she kind of just she's rather short, so she's just kind of looking up and sniffing for what might be for dinner.
You feel a very gentle hand placed on your shoulder as one of the young cooks says, "Ma'am, thank you for your interest. We are just trying to get the last few touches put together. We would be happy to have you come look around after dinner, but we really need the space right now. It is already quite cramped in here."
I see that. And I just want to make sure everyone's okay. You work very hard, and in case somebody needs help, I'd like to be here.
We appreciate that very much. I think we're all set here. You could go take a look around the manor and look somewhere else and see if there's someone else who might need your assistance. But I think the best help you could give us right now is to let us do our work the way we know how to.
I suppose that's fair.
Thank you, miss. And she sort of gently but firmly escorts you back out of the kitchen, or at least away from where the activity in the kitchen is. She doesn't necessarily push you out of the room, but just to a less active point.
Fine. I think she would go just kind of stand in the corner and just kind of watch the comings and goings of people there, just because it's where she's comfortable.
Sure. Alime.
I think Alime is going to excuse herself from her lovely conversation with Harriet to go up to her rooms and definitely keep an eye out along the way for anything interesting.
Sure. So a young girl comes to show you to your room.
I take my shit that's on the floor and I do not let her touch it.
Yes. So all the guest rooms and the master bedroom are all on the second floor. So the room you have been assigned is actually right beside the master bedroom, on the left-hand side of it. They're quite large rooms. There's a 4-post bed, queen-size 4-poster bed. There's a dresser. There's a vanity. You have your own private bathroom. You're informed by the young girl that if you want to take a bath before dinner, you're more than welcome to. It wouldn't be a very long bath, but you do have time to do so. And noticing that you are older, she also says, if you need any assistance getting in or out of the bath, to just let her know. And then she leaves before you can comment.
Alime is going to be very grumpy about that and shout something unintelligible at the girl as she closes the door.
Excellent.
So Alime is going to snoop around the room and see if anything is out of place, check for anything weird magical wise and all that.
Sure, roll investigation.
Okie dokie. Well, that's a whole 7.
It's it's a pretty nice room. Like, the linens are a very high thread count. They're made of a very nice fabric. You're really excited to get to sleep because you know it's going to be super comfy and cozy. It's just the right temperature. There's a nice circular rug.
Sick. Do I have a good view?
You have a decent view. There's not really a bad view, seeing as there's not really a lot around in this area. But looking out, you can see, like, part of the back gardens, which As I mentioned earlier, it's early spring, so there's not a lot growing yet. But you can see that would probably be quite beautiful late spring, early summer when everything's in full bloom.
Cool. Lima's gonna go take that bath.
Okay. Do you call for assistance?
No.
Excellent.
So sheer spite.
What I
No.
what I do is strip down in the bathroom and start getting in the bath and realize lifting my leg is like a little bit harder than it used to be and going, stupid, dumb little bitch telling me.
Excellent.
Love it.
Qrowe, you're
Yes.
sitting in the library, and a panicked young tiefling, the young tiefling woman, comes into the library and notices you there, and just goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know anyone else was in here."
So as she comes in, I'm just gonna casually unsheath my gun blade, place it down, and try to start cleaning it.
I'll go. And she fucking runs out and like
Aww.
Slapper and Mavros, as you're walking back in, you just see this tiefling just fucking rip around up to the room and up into her room.
Oh, it's the library. Oh, she's gone.
And then Qrowe's just gonna kind of roll his eyes at that, and like, these people.
Slapper, Mavros. You have a little bit more time before dinner. What would you like to do? Everyone will have one more activity before dinner.
Okay. I think I'll turn to Slapper and say, well, I should probably get my things unpacked and get myself settled in for the night. I will see you at dinner, yes?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm honestly pretty hungry. I don't. I
Looks
forgot
like you have
to.
room to grow.
Yeah, I was a little busy with something before I left, so I forgot to eat.
We all have our burdens that we must bear.
Don't we ever?
See you soon.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, with that, Mavros will head to his room and sort of just, put his couple of things that he's maybe brought along just for the night, and just aside for now, so he doesn't have to carry them around for the night.
Sure. So your room, your guys' rooms, except for Qrowe, are all along the back wall. So Mavros, you're on the far right along the back wall.
Looks a lot cozier than the first floor.
Slapper, anything else you'd like to do? Heading up to your room as well?
I mean, because I saw Qrowe in the library, right? Because I was with Mavros.
No, you guys
You
didn't
saw the
see into
tiefling
the
running
library.
away.
Oh, we
Yeah, you
just saw
saw
the
her running
tiefling
away.
run away. Okay.
But Mavros knew that the tiefling was coming from the library, because that's what
Yes,
he
I
said.
mentioned. I said, like, how was the library as she was running away?
Right. Okay. All right. Is there anyone else in the foyer at the moment?
So Harriet Lockwell, the woman that Alime was talking to, has left.
Okay.
The other woman is, she has, not the kitchen door, but the one opposite, the one on the west side, opened up, and she's just glancing around that room without really going into it. And she's
Okay.
the only one left.
I'm gonna walk up to her.
Okay.
And be like, hi, my name is Slapper. Do you know why everyone got invited to this?
Well, did you ask?
No, I was just doing something at my house, and someone knocked on my door, and then I opened the door, and there was the directions and the invitation to come here.
Well, I'm going to have a word with Lord Bergstaff, because I had to ask him every day for 3 weeks straight to get an invitation to this event, and some little gnome got an invite without even knowing why? Absolutely unacceptable.
I mean, honestly, I'm not entirely happy about it either. I was a
Well,
little,
that makes two of us,
I was a
doesn't
little
it?
stressed out coming here. I hope, I hope Mr. Bergstaff, like, how much do you think he knows about me?
Lord Bergstaff knows everything about everyone who enters
Oh
his home.
no!
Have no worries.
This stresses out.
Um,
This stresses out Slapper very much.
She can see and does not care. He probably knows more about you than you know about yourself. And honestly, I feel bad for him because I truly don't care about anything about you and don't want to be burdened with that information.
That's good.
So-
I didn't want to tell you anyway.
Then why did you talk to me?
I just,
Anyways, I'm heading to my room. You, do your thing. And she leaves.
Okay, bye.
Is this a cult? Feels like a cult.
The NPCs are all, like, from this area. You weren't all from this area, so.
Fair.
True.
Fair.
We're still gonna get outed.
Yeah.
Slapper, what are you gonna do? You
Uh,
have.
I'm
I'll let you do
gonna.
one more small thing.
Well, that's very much the last conversation has disturbed Slapper very much. So I think he's just gonna go over to one of the chairs that the half elf lady was sitting in. He's just gonna sit there and kind of like he's small enough that he can sit there and kind of like pull his knees up to his chest and like just sit in this big
baby.
chair, like trying to
Baby. Poor little baby.
yeah, just remind himself to breathe slowly and it's gonna be okay.
Aw, baby.
Man,
I'm so excited to have 9-foot Alime stand next to him.
Aunty Brist.
9 feet.
You have to 1 minute.
Okay. Okay, so I think that she'd get bored in the kitchens because nothing's really happening and people are doing things, and she's just like, they're doing it wrong. They're doing it wrong. They're doing it wrong. So she's gonna leave.
One
I
of
think she's gonna
those
go-
old ladies.
Well, she's in control of a kitchen every time. Like, she isn't used to other people cooking for her
Mhm.
at all. So she's gonna leave before she gets, uppity, because she knows how she gets. And she's gonna go back to the way, like, the original place that they were when they all started.
Or you see a little gnome man curled up, holding his knees and like kind of rocking back and forth.
See, and initially she was gonna go through the door that Bertram went through, but now seeing the child in distress, she's like full grandma mode.
Oh.
Like, she is locked onto this child. She's getting butterscotch out of her purse.
Oh.
Like,
no.
she keeps them in her sleeves because she's got like really long billowy sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
She walks with the cane, so she kind of hobbles
Roll a
over.
sleight of hand for me.
Okay. Oh, I've got nothing on that. That's a 4.
Oh no.
Nat 4.
Somehow, you fail to grab any butterscotch out of your sleeves.
Damn.
For some reason, you just can't reach it right now.
She's just like, God.
It's experiencing unusually high call volumes.
She's shaking her sleeve, and she's kind of, as she's making her way over, and it's like, usually this works. I'm sorry, dear. I'm sorry.
Sorry for what? I don't know what you're apologizing for. You're,
Butterscotch.
you have butterscotch in your sleeves? Isn't that so-
I have everything in my sleeves. Well, not
Oh.
everything, but maybe later after dinner. What's wrong? Are you okay?
Just, this might sound like a weird question. Do you know who I am?
Do I know who they are?
No, you have no idea.
No
You
idea.
just know that he arrived at the same time you did.
I'm sorry, dear. I don't.
Oh, okay. No, that's a good thing. Okay, cool. Good. Good.
You're quite a funny one, aren't you?
Yeah, I just talked to one of the ladies here, and I just don't understand why I got invited here. I didn't ask to be invited or anything. I just got an invitation at the door, and considering some of the things I know, I figured it was best not to question it too much. So here I am, but I'm still confused. And then the lady said that Mr. Burkstaff, he might know more about me than I know, and I don't much like that idea at all.
Dear, in my many years, if I've learned anything, is that people are going to know or pretend or think that they know everything about you. But despite all of that, who you are in the moment and time is who you truly are. So don't worry about what others say or how they feel until you know your fact. Are you happy as you are?
That's a loaded question.
Are you content? And if not, enjoy it while you have it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. Just a word of advice about the whole, who I am in the moment. That's who I am. If at any point there's a moment where I'm really scary, just know that I don't want that to be who you think I am.
Of course not.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, bye-bye. And then he hops off the chair and kind of does the very clumsy child run up the stairs to his room.
Sure.
He's on all fours, just climbing the stairs.
Well, no, it's very much just like he's carried forward by his own momentum.
When you get to the top of the stairs, you notice that on the very right hand side, like the very right hand side of the stairs, the stairs are doubled. So they're half the height. So there's small creature sized stairs on the very right hand side that you completely missed.
Oh no!
So
weird kid.
It's
okay then.
It's fine.
Can I search for butterscotch again?
Not right now. Alime.
You had your chance.
Alime, you just enjoying your tub time?
She's gonna be pretty quick about it. And just get out and kind of be relaxing around the room, waiting for the call for dinner.
Roll a dexterity saving throw as you get out of the tub.
Oh no!
I've fallen and I can't get up.
How dare you! You sweet today! I'm not happy about this at all.
You're the one who said she's an old lady.
Fuck, I love it.
Sick.
Kim, I'll get you with those two.
Wait, don't I have advantage? Don't I have advantage on dexterity?
Do you?
Didn't I choose that as a thing?
Did you?
Look for yourself.
Is
I
that the
did.
thing you chose?
I did. I chose the where the fuck did I put it?
Should be in feats.
I'm really good at this whole thing, you know.
You're doing great.
Yes, I gained proficiency in dexterity saving throws.
Oh, that just means you get to add your proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
That's all. It's not advantage.
Okay, well, never mind.
So it's a 6?
Yeah.
So you the first leg gets out okay, but the second leg, that knee catches you again, and It unbends, or like it bends a little less than you expect it to, and your foot catches, and you don't totally face plant, like you catch yourself before your face hits the floor, but you do fall.
Oh man.
No one else is around to see it, though. You didn't ask anyone for help, so no one sees this happen.
There you go.
If an old lady falls in her room and
Alime's
no one
just
hears
gonna
it, did she
go.
really fall?
Only if she has life alert.
Alime's gonna go. How did I know this was going to happen? How did I know?
Is Mavros' room anywhere near this?
No, you're on the opposite side of the house.
I'm on the opposite side. Okay, so I can't hear anything.
No, but you would hear Slapper struggle with the door handle because it's higher than he is tall.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
go into
all
his
right.
room.
Is someone knocking at my door?
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm just trying to.
This is my room.
Okay. Alime, anything else?
Grumbling the entire time she gets dressed.
Sorry. Qrowe, anything else? I'll give you one small thing.
No, he tried cleaning his blade, but there's just this one stain he can't possibly get out. Just gonna return it to a sheath and just kind of grab a book off the shelf, sit down and open it, put it on his face, and go for a quick nap.
Please roll me D100.
Okay. Go back to
Fancy.
that. 91.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. You pick up a book off the shelf. And it's titled The Hottest Fires of the Forge.
Ooh.
You picked up some smut.
I was
You
about to
open
say,
it.
sounds like smut.
Sexy.
And you start reading, and then you flip through it a little bit, and it's a raunchy account of a dwarven smith named Doran who possesses the supernatural ability to craft magical marital aids with a dizzying variety of abilities.
Wow.
Yes.
Yo.
Saving marriages one toy at a time.
And at that point, he just kind of puts the book onto his face, leans back, and just falls asleep for
Wow.
however long he needs to.
Excellent.
Walks on you.
So, at this point, regardless of where you are, you hear the tinkling of a little bell, and you hear Lord Berkstaff's voice. Everyone, please make your way to the dining hall. Dinner will be served in any moment. So those of you
Wonderful.
So the three of you that are in your rooms will all encounter each other at the top of the stairs, along with all of the NPCs. Aunty Brist, you're already in the entry. Qrowe, you're in the library. And you guys will all make your way to the dining hall, which is the room just to the west of the sitting area where you just were. The dining hall is quite large, of course. Everything in this building is enormous. There's a long table with surplus chairs that are taken away once everyone's sat down. Once everyone's sat down, people start basically streaming in from the kitchen through the sitting room into the dining hall with all these platters upon platters of all sorts of different foods from all different regions. There's something here that is familiar comfort food to every single one of you, but there's also something here that's completely abstract, never seen before for every single one of you. So the seating at the table, just give me 1 second. I need to write this down so that I know. Okay. At the very head of the table is Lord Berkstaff, of course. On his left is Lady Silverhall. To his right is Harriet, Lady Lockwell. Beside Harriet are the brothers. Beside across from them, beside Lady Silverhall, is Amy O'Hare, the tiefling. Next to her is going to be Qrowe, because I think that's funny.
Okay.
On the other side of Qrowe will be Alime. Qrowe is across from one of the two brothers. Alime will be across from Aunty Brist. And then Slapper and Mavros will be across from each other. Slapper is beside Alime, and Mavros is beside Aunty Brist.
Neat.
Nice.
Beans.
Beans.
Me and the boys at 2 a.m. looking for beans!
Mm.
Okay, you know, every time I say that, it
So,
just spirals down.
beans! So,
I can't stop saying it.
everyone sits down, starts dishing out, and begins eating. And Lord Burkstaff, as everyone's eating, he's eating as well. He does that. Begins recanting a tale of his youth back when he was an adventurer, of him and his friends defeating an Etten that plagued the lands nearby the city, that contributed to his family's already great wealth.
Can I quickly mutter something under my breath so he doesn't hear it, but potentially the people next to me do?
Sure. What would you like to mutter?
The Qrowe's just gonna be like, I hate this and everything it stands for. Kill me. I'm already dead inside.
So on your right-hand side is the tiefling, who is just, like, absolutely paralyzed with social anxiety. And on your other side is Alime.
Alime is just going to slowly nod and then pass Slapper something that she can see him very clearly struggling to reach.
Oh.
Sweet little boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna raise my hand and look at Lord Brickstaff.
He's, like, mid-sentence and he goes, and that was when Slapper, yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes?
Yeah. Would it be? Do you have any like higher chairs?
Oh my goodness, how disrespectful of me. And he snaps his fingers twice. And a couple servants come in with a taller chair. It's not like a kid's high chair, because that would be rude. It's just a taller chair.
Nice.
Or like a bar
And
stool.
they also set down in front of you a pair of longer tongs for you to grab stuff
Oh,
with.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
if there's anything else you need, please just wave down one of the servants. They'd be more than happy to help you. You are our very treasured guest, after all.
Yeah, about that. I was just gonna ask, like, why am I here?
Why wouldn't you be here?
Well, I don't know you, and I don't know any of the people here. I just got.
No, I know you, and I know of your power, and I
You-
think it's wonderful and incredible and
You what?
beautiful in its own way. I know that might be kind of weird, but I also know you're very private about it, so I'm not going to give too many details, because we are around a group of people, but I think you're a valuable friend to have. I hope that this can be perhaps the start of something quite excellent.
Slapper's face is going to immediately turn like deadly serious, like way more serious than one would think a child could do, and he's just going to stare Lord Burkstaff like straight in the eye and say, "You don't know anything about my power."
Oh, I know
This is
far
getting
more.
interesting.
I know far more than you think I do, young. But I don't believe this is dinner table conversation. So perhaps we can chat after dinner.
Yeah, Slapper is just gonna like kind of snap out of his little moment there and just immediately, very anxiously, go back to eating food.
Ah, yes. Where was I? Ah, yes, slaying the beast. And so with my sword in my hand, and he just keeps going.
So after that little outburst, I'm just gonna lean over to the tiefling and say, What's with the sassy lost child?
She just kind of flinches a little bit at your voice. She's like, "Oh, he's probably like me and just not really comfortable with people he doesn't know, and so he's just like having a time. This is really good soup, hey?" And she just like almost face plants in her bowl to just like stop seeing anything around her.
Could I roll perception on Burstrand? Is it?
Berkstaff?
Burkstaff. I will get names. I'm sorry. I'm just really bad at them. I'm trying.
What
to...
are you?
Could write them down like some of us.
I'm trying, but
She's an old lady. It's fine.
I'm really debating whether or not she's just gonna say his name wrong every single time.
Roll a general intelligence check for me.
General intelligence?
Yeah, just
sure.
to start with.
General intelligence.
Yeah, for sure. I got a 16
Okay, you know his name for now.
for now. We'll see if it's
For now.
forgotten later. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do I have
Okay.
to roll every time I want to say his name now?
Yeah, you did this to yourself.
Just see if I remember his name.
So what are you looking for? Are you just trying to look at him? Are you trying to interpret something?
I'm trying to get a read on him.
That'd be insight.
Insight check? Can I do an insight check then? I just want to get a read on him because, like the child, I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
She's only been on one other adventure. She's just playing it safe. So
Sure.
Insight check. You said that's a 17. What is? That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Very good roll. From what you can tell, he's a very odd, eccentric man. He's done a lot of things and probably gotten into a lot of things that might have scrambled something a little bit. It's a very odd character. But mostly he just seems weird. Just odd. Not like weird like I can't tell, just like very different from other people you've encountered in the past.
Okay. Could it just be like eccentric billionaire weirdness?
Very much that. Very much that.
Billionaire weirdness.
You got
Okay.
a lot of that.
Okay. All right. So one of two options here. He's either just enamored with people who have power, or he is going to make us do something for his entertainment.
So as he finishes his story, Lady Silverhall begins pouring praise out onto him, and you guys can all see that Harriet Lockwell is just very over it and very unimpressed. And as Lady Silverhall is piling all this praise on, Harriet looks at her and says, "Lady Silverhall, I don't think your husband would appreciate the way you're touching Lord Burkstaff right now."
Drama.
And Lady Silverhall looks daggers at her and says, "Well, Miss Lockwell, because we all know you're not a lady, I don't even understand why you're here. You're not as good breed as myself or Lord Burkstaff. In fact, you fall right in among the riffraff from out of town." And they just continue to just squabble back and forth like this, and Lord Burkstaff just sits back and just looks very tired. Like this is something that happens a lot.
Interesting to know that we are simply riffraff invited for some strange purpose.
As you say this, Lord Burkstaff suddenly comes back and is very animated. He's like, no. Oh, no, please don't. No offense, Lady Silverhall, but please don't listen to anything she has to say about any of you. She's, And he, puts his hand up, so it's, like, on the side that she's on, but obviously she can still hear him, because you can hear him at the end of the table. And he's just like, she's just very pampered and spoiled and has a lot of opinion.
Noted.
You are all very honored, very treasured guests, and I'm very grateful that you're all here.
Yeah.
It's very important
If
to
I'm
me that
invited
you're...
to a party, I will show up.
Yes, we love to have you here, Mavros.
Thank you.
I think if I might interject, I think we're all thinking it. At least I am. Why are we here? Just seems a little random. We don't know you.
Well,
Hypothetically, you don't know us.
Well, as I said to the young one earlier, I do know you.
Slapper.
Aunty Brist, you and I had a conversation just earlier this evening where we talked about the princess.
Did indeed.
Yes, and I mentioned that she wrote to me about you, and I thought that I would like to get to know you, and I would like to make your acquaintance. And so I wrote and I invited you to one of my dinner parties, because what a better way to get to know someone than to have them spend the weekend as a guest in your home.
I suppose there's nothing wrong with that, I suppose.
Yes. So all of you I've either heard rumor of, or had you personally recommended to me that I would appreciate and enjoy your company. And to be quite honest, it makes my old soul happy to be surrounded by those who are still adventuring, even if some of you are towards the end of your adventuring careers. Alime, you've had a very, very successful career. Yeah, I love to have these parties. I love to meet new people. I love having guests in this home.
Well then, I must say, again, thank you for having us.
And thank you for being here. One of the kitchen staff came and spoke with me shortly before dinner and mentioned that you would like to assist in the kitchen. And I'd be more than happy to have you coordinate lunch either tomorrow or the next day, if you would be interested in doing so.
Interested? I would be more than happy and grateful.
Ah,
if I could.
exceptional. Exceptional. I'm so excited. Lady Luckwell, I hope you don't mind us slightly changing the menu. And she just looks at him and smiles like, I don't mind at all. I think rabbit folk food would be quite interesting.
I think you'll find it's unlike anything you've ever had.
I look forward to it. So you all continue eating and just making quiet conversation. The two brothers, the two elderly brothers, crack jokes at each other's expense throughout most of dinner. Then dinner dies down. A very small dessert is brought out after that enormous feast and just sits just perfectly in your stomachs. And then every guest is directed to their bedrooms to get some rest. So, Aunty Brist, your room is right next to Alime's.
Awesome.
And
Like,
Qrowe,
fall in the bath, I'll help you.
and Qrowe, your room is actually on the west side. It's the first room on the west side. So
Okay, how is my room?
it's the same as everyone else's. They're all the same.
Which is...
Comfortable, fairly large, 4-poster bed, dresser, vanity, private bathroom.
I think I will return to the couch. I do not like the comforts.
Okay,
I don't
sure.
like... Qrowe doesn't like to relax.
Sure.
Feels like something's wrong.
So you guys all settle in. The staff, noticing that you are heading back towards the couch, ask you what is wrong, and you tell them, and they zip up to your room, and you see them carrying furniture out. and then they encourage you to head back. And you head back and look, and there's nothing in there except a single couch. And it's a very simple couch. For you, sir.
How many people were helping lugged out the stuff?
Like 8.
I'll give them each a gold piece for their trouble.
Okay, sure.
They didn't have to, but they did. So I'll
So-
just dismissively thank them with a piece of gold each, and
And a 5-star review on Yelp.
yeah,
Go
just kind of
sleep.
slam the door behind them.
Go sleep on your couch room.
Yep.
So,
Moonveil Manor Mansion.
as you all retreat to your respective rooms, you hear
Just
the
like to
creak.
imagine all that furniture lining the hallway.
You hear the
Someone
creaks.
wakes up and is like, wait, what?
As you all retreat to your respective rooms, you hear the creaks, groans, and bangs from around the manor as it settles. Naturally, with it being a warm spring day and dropping to a cold night so quickly, it's not surprising that the building, old as it is, would be settling down alongside yourselves. From downstairs, you hear a few footsteps, possibly Lord Burkstaff making sure the doors are locked and the windows secured. Being this far out of the main city does make this place a good target for thieves, especially with the vast collection of eccentric items you've seen throughout the house. You all settle in to your beds or your couch. The mattress is stuffed with owlbear feathers and the pillows fluffed to perfection. It doesn't take long before each of you drifts into a deep, relaxed slumber, until a crash from somewhere within the manor wakes you all with a start.
Oh, good. Well, Alime's going to hop out of bed as fast as her old bones will allow.
Slapper was only actually like, he sleeps for maybe like 20 minutes at a time. So he would have been just like sitting cross-legged on the bed in
Sure.
his locked room when this happened.
Sure. So who all goes to investigate the crash?
Qrowe absolutely will.
Yeah,
Okay.
Slapper's
He'll have
on
his
the
hand on his gun blade ready just in case.
Is
Yeah,
anyone
Liam
not
Perry.
going to look?
I think Mavros only gets up once he hears other people also rushing and saying, "Oh, this must be a problem crash rather than a simple mistake of some sort."
Sure.
So I think at that point he gets up and just hastily puts his long sword at his side and heads downstairs.
Sure. So you all head down, and you see a couple servants heading towards the library, and you follow them. And you get in, and you see Amy holding a dustpan and a broom, trying to sweep up a broken vase.
Is that all
Being a
that
neat
was?
free thing, will go to assist.
It's okay. I got it. It was an accident.
Aunty
I
Brist
No, I
couldn't-
insist.
leads her away from the glass. It's just like, it's okay, dear.
I couldn't see where I was going.
Dear.
And...
Okay.
If it is simply just a small accident, if you'll excuse me, I'll be heading back to bed.
I think I'm going to get Alime to do a quick perception check on the room and see if that actually is all that was going on.
Sure. So Mavros, you have left the room now.
Sure. I think like, I see that there's simply a crash and people are sort of picking it up. I think I do turn around and start walking back, but not hastily. I think I take my time.
Sure.
So, 15 plus 3 making an 18.
Beautiful. You can see that the bookshelf, just next to the vase, is pulled out slightly, like it's kind of tilted. Like someone tried to climb it or something.
Alright.
And you can also see that a couple of books a little bit ways up, are pulled out a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to take note of those books. Can I see from where I'm standing what books they are?
How tall are you?
I misquoted my height earlier. I'm about 6'7".
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can see them very clearly. There's a number of books, one of which you actually recognize slightly. You recognize the patterning on the spine because you saw it in Harriet Lockwell's bag earlier. And it is The Beginner's Guide to Ciphers, A Study in Cryptography by Martin Duskville.
Okay.
Is Harriet in the room?
She's not right now.
Is anyone paying much attention to me right now?
Slapper is still in the room. Just kind of hanging around.
Qrowe has now begun to actively clean in place of the house servant.
I'm calming down Amy.
Okay, so not really.
No.
Hey, I'm gonna try and swipe the books.
Sleight of hand, please.
Uh, 11.
Okay. So you take the book, you put it into your bag. Slapper, you do notice this.
Okay.
But because Qrowe and Aunty Brist are actively doing other things, they do not.
Yeah, I am gonna not say anything about it.
I am also just going to is the bookshelf like tilted out from the top or like from the side?
It's like someone tried to climb it, so it's like kind of tilting forward from the top.
Okay.
Very slightly though. Like the bookshelves are all so close together, it's kind of wedged, so it's not like actively in danger of falling onto someone, but it's definitely not sitting how it's supposed to.
Okay, Alime is just gonna like lean on it just to like push it back a little bit, but not in an ostentatious way.
Sure, it's quite easy to put it back. So as you lean up against the bookshelf, the other guests filter into the room. Lord Berkstaff is there, slightly out of breath, in a nightgown. It's a very flashy, like purple with gold embroidery. He's got a matching nightcap, matching slippers. The two brothers are there as well. But Harriet Lockwell and Lady Silverhall are not present.
Interesting. I'm just gonna ask Amy if like what happened.
I just couldn't see where I was going, and I ran into it and knocked it over. I didn't mean to do it. I couldn't sleep.
Can I use perception to see if she's lying or not?
Insight.
Insight? Sure.
Yeah.
17?
She is lying.
She's lying, okay. I think I get kind of closer. She's like...
Over the short amount of time you've been adventuring, you remember that tieflings have dark vision.
Ooh!
So she's
correct.
So she's definitely lying, but you don't know why.
And I kind of get quiet and I'm down to her because she seems really timid. She's obviously in a situation she's uncomfortable with. She's like, "You're a tiefling. You can see in the dark. What's going on?
You
don't have to tell me now."
No, I saw Harriet put a book onto the bookshelf. I wanted to know what it was. But I couldn't reach it, and the ladders are kind of squeaky, so I didn't want to move one, so I thought I could climb it. But I slipped and I broke the vase.
Okay.
I just wanted to see what the book was.
You don't know why Harriet was putting the book back, or just
I mean,
put it away?
You know, her and Lady Silverhall and the brothers, they've all known Lord Berkstaff for a number of years, so I assume it was just something she borrowed. But she's a really smart lady, and she does lots of cool stuff, so I just wanted to see what it was. You know, I don't have a lot of money, and I don't come from, like, a really good family, but I like to think I'm quite clever, and I learn things pretty quickly. So I just wanted to know.
Okay. That's fair.
Now that I think about it, her and Lady Silverhall aren't here. They didn't come down.
She looks around. She's checking everybody.
They're not there?
There's no one there.
Everyone else is there, except for Mavros, who's now gone back.
Yeah.
Well, I think Mavros would have maybe seen people coming down and been like, oh, it's just simply the vase falling, and then people kept coming down. It's like, well, I mean, you can go down and see for yourself. I will show you.
Sure, so he's come back too. So everyone is there, except for Lady Silverhall and Harriet.
Okay. Okay. I've got her settled down on, like, one of the chairs, and I'm just kind of petting her hair lightly.
Lord Berkstaff comes over and sets a hand down on her shoulder. Don't worry, Amy. It's just a vase. It'll be okay. I can always buy another one.
Never mind.
Alrighty.
What would you like to do?
Alime is just gonna look at everyone in the room and go, just a Basil. Go back to bed. I'll check her out, see if she's alright.
That's what I told you.
Very well. And the two gentlemen and Lord Berkstaff head back to their rooms.
I am gonna do a quick medicine check on Amy and see if
Sure.
Slapper's gonna stick around and be like, I don't really have a whole... I don't really need to go back to sleep until I really need to, so I'll be around. I'll be here.
Oh, I can't sleep either. Would you like to sit with me?
Yeah, I can hang out.
Okay. That sounds great. Elaine, would you roll for your medicine check?
I did 18 plus 6.
Yeah, she's fine. No injuries, just a little frazzled.
Cool.
Auntie?
Yes, dear.
I'm worried about Harriet. She's been over here for a number of dinner parties before over the last few years. And I've known her for a while. I really look up to her. But she's not a heavy sleeper. So I don't know what I'm worried about her. I'd like to check on her.
Dear, sure. That should be fine. Why don't we go together with the young gnome and my elderly friend here and check and see if she's okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yes, I think so.
So,
nothing like a walk together in a dark and spooky mansion.
Please don't say it that way. Just because I can see in the dark doesn't mean I'm not uncomfortable.
I was just making a little joke. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't like the dark.
Let's go check her room first.
All right, Alime will hang out for a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, Qrowe and Mavros, are you going to tag along?
I think I will. I think Mavros is like, well, I am up and awake now. I may as well see what the rest of the group is doing.
I mean, if you did that, it would drag you anyway.
How long has everyone been sleeping for before the disturbance?
Couple hours, maybe?
Okay, that'll do for Qrowe. Unless anyone actively tries to stop him, he will try and keep cleaning.
Yeah, you're done at this point. You've tidied up. The servants have taken the trash away.
Okay.
So, Amy leads the group up and to the left side, the east side of the second floor, to Harriet's room, which happens to be right next to Lady Silverhall's room. She's not in her room. So at this point, Amy's very worried. Just, maybe we should go look on the first floor somewhere and see if we can find her. It's not in the library. Maybe we'll check the kitchen. I don't know. She might have gotten hungry.
Honestly,
I don't know.
I'm feeling a little hungry myself, so we can let's go check out the chicken or the kitchen.
Well,
I mean, there's probably chicken in the kitchen. I mean,
Okay.
The chicken for dinner earlier tonight was delicious. Killer leftovers.
Okay. Let's go look.
Alime is going to kind of hold Amy back. So while everyone else is kind of walking towards the kitchen, she's going to keep Amy behind the rest of the group.
Okay.
And say to her quite quietly, when did you see Harriet put that book back?
Just like shortly after dinner. I saw she was going to the library and I wanted to chat with her. Because it's been a couple weeks since I saw her and she's been, kind of like a mentor to me. So I wanted to chat with her since we're both here. But she's very focused and just not really paying attention to anything else. And she, just put the book back and then said hello for a little bit and then headed up to her room. And, I went up to mine to not draw attention. These rich people, they don't usually let me look at their stuff or touch their things. So I figured going at nighttime, no one would see me, but I made a mess.
That plan seemed to backfire a little bit.
Not work, yeah. But, yeah, so it's too bad. I wanted to know what book it was.
Alime is going to keep her mouth shut for now and continue following the others.
Quick question.
Yes!
Before we head down to the kitchen, I believe we said,
Yes.
I would like to frisk her room, see if I can spot anything that doesn't look right or bode well.
Like a locate creature or something like that?
Roll investigation, please.
Wrong thing. That's a D20, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a nice 18.
Cool. You don't find anything really abnormal. It's just a lot of her stuff. A lot of, rich lady stuff. Nothing that you really particularly care for or care about.
Out of place or anything.
No, nothing.
Okay.
Medical aids? No marital aids?
No special marital aids, since those are specifically on your mind. So, as you make your way carefully into the kitchen, the musky, lavender-scented air becomes coated with a strange smell you are all too familiar with. The smell of fresh blood. You all look to each other, concern lining your faces, and you draw your weapons. Looking over the counter, you see the limp, deceased form of Harriet Lockwell slumped against the wall, coated in blood. Amy lets out a scream and flees from the room. Lord Berkwell soon enters, covering his mouth in horror, and follows after the panicked tiefling. Encourages everyone to leave the room, and after a short while, 2 detectives arrive and begin looking over the corpse.
Well, what a turn of events! Alime is going to take this opportunity to kind of stand in a corner somewhere and flip through the book that she nicked off the shelf and see if there's anything in it of interest.
Sure.
Can I roll an Arcana check on the body? Is
Sure.
the body still around?
Yeah, body's still there. The 2 detectives.
Cool.
The detectives are Detective Rhubarb, who is a kobold,
Yes.
and Constable Custard,
Wow.
is a gnome.
Very good.
I love that more than I could possibly express.
I'm going to specifically go up to Colonel Custard.
Constable Custard.
Constable Custard.
Thank you.
Custard. Sorry. Hi. Is it okay if I just make like a quick little check or something on the body? I'm really good at like sort of being able to like figure things out. I'll tell you anything that I find out if I do see anything interesting.
He looks over at the kobold. Sure, as long as you share and don't touch the body.
Yeah, okay. I don't really want to anyway. And I kind of like very carefully step over to the body and okay, that's a 13.
With your knowledge of the arcane and of magic, looking at the body, you see no correlation.
Okay.
This was not done by magical means.
Okay. I'm gonna spring back up on my feet. Just sort of like very, very like calmly walk back to Constable Custard. Be like, okay, well, so I don't know how much this helps, but it wasn't by magical means.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. Bye-bye.
Following our rocky gnome friend, I too would like to try and make a check.
What check would you like to make?
Maybe this will work, but I'd like to try and make a survival check to see if I can spot any prints or tracks around the body.
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay. So that's 15 plus 3, so 18.
18. With an 18, you very specifically notice that there are not any tracks. And with the amount of blood that there is, that is very weird.
Mm-hmm.
If I may, either you, sir, host, or detectives, I am not an experienced mage by any means, but I do know a couple of spells that could potentially help in a circumstance such as this. I know one spell that can help to ensure that one is speaking the truth, or I also know a spell that can search with absolute certainty whether or not there is any sort of magic involved in this event.
Well, we appreciate that, sir. Just looking at the body, she's got 3 knife wounds, looks like, in the back. That's probably what done did it.
Certainly. I do not doubt that at all. But if it comes to the point where you need to ask anyone any questions, I can assist and ensure that those questions are answered truthfully.
We'll keep that in mind, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think I want to hear about this book now.
So, what would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna be taking a peek at that book that was pulled off the shelf.
Sure.
I think, Auntie noticed me there. Did you, Kim?
So, just quick, as you're flipping through the book, you notice some symbols that look somewhat familiar.
Right.
They look similar to the symbols that you saw in Harriet's bag.
Now, is her bag with her now? Did I notice?
It is. It is with her.
Okay. So... I think Alime is going to go ask the detectives if she can, kidnap that bag.
You can borrow it.
Evidence.
You can borrow it, but as long as you give it back so that we can process it for evidence, I think that'd be all right.
Can do. There's just a few things in there I'd like to check out.
Sure. So you get her bag, you open it, and her copy of Beginner's Guide to Ciphers of Studying Cryptography by Martin Duskville is still in her bag, in addition to 2 pieces of paper.
So there's 2 copies of this.
It's referencing.
So, that might be another lie that we've caught Amy in. I am going to check out those pieces of paper then.
Sure. Just give me 1 second. It's fairly easy to decipher since you have the books. But there's not a lot in the notes. It's mostly just observations on the other guests, not including yourselves. These notes were written before you all had arrived, but it's mostly comments on how big of a bitch Lady Silverhall is, or how strange these 2 brothers are. Like, how do you forget your own name, let alone your twin brother's name? And on Lord Bergstaff and his perpetual good mood being even better today. Those kinds of things.
Okay. Is there anything else in her bag of interest?
Nothing of interest, just the usual.
Okay. So I will hand that back to the detectives then.
Okay.
I think I'd like to do like just a general check on the room, just to see if anything other than the dead body in the pool of blood
Jumps out at you.
jumps out. Like, is there a weapon?
You do not see... It's a kitchen. There's a number of knives.
Of course.
But none of them are quite the necessary size to have done this.
Anything?
Not that you notice.
Notice?
Not that you notice.
I was in there earlier. Could I do a history check to see if I notice anything amiss?
No, you don't really need to. It looks... You're familiar... I'll say you're familiar enough with kitchens that the only thing amiss is the corpse.
Damn, and that's pretty All
Yeah.
right. That's pretty unusual.
Pretty out there.
So,
Don't see a lot of those.
I mean, there are a lot of dead things in kitchens. They just don't usually happen to be women.
and they usually get
Mm.
eaten. So,
Exactly. And they're on the
usually
table, not on the
chicken.
floor. Like,
so as you guys are sorting stuff out, the almost called him Colonel Custard, Constable Custard goes up to Slapper, like, hey Slapper, could you take your friends upstairs and maybe talk to those two brothers?
Yeah.
You know, they've known Miss Lockwell for a while, and have any of you seen Lady Silverhall around? Heard she was here this evening.
Yeah, I could do that.
Excellent.
Yeah, I could do that.
Just again, has anyone seen Lady Silverhall?
I can't.
I do not think so.
Huh. Well, if someone would be so kind as to try and locate her as well. I know there's some animosity between these two, and these rich women think they can get away with a lot more than they can. So, I'll leave that to you. We'll hold down the fort here.
No.
Right.
So, what would you guys like to do?
Slapper is gonna now that he's in kind of like, especially now that he's kind of like around Mavros and people that he feels a little bit more familiar with. He's gonna be like, so I don't even know if we should be if we should be looking for a murder weapon, because like from what I know, sometimes like those things can, the murder weapon might not even exist anymore.
But it might be a good idea to do a sweep of the mansion just in case the culprit is still up and about. Those of us who are in our rooms, it's, as much as I hate to say this, it is difficult to know that our safety is insured at the moment.
Yeah, even if we do split up, we should probably still be, relatively in the same area, just so that if something happens and we can be nearby.
Well, I think
If you do
the
not
only
mind,
one-
sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think that the only one who hasn't been accounted for yet is Lady Silver Mist.
Lake
That's what you think her name is now.
That's what I think her name is.
Lady
Silver Mist. Lady
Silver Lake,
Silver
Silver
something.
Mist?
Cultist Lake.
Her
Silver
name's
Mist?
her name's Lady Silverhall, folk. You know what? There's enough of you. Some of you go talk to those two brothers. Some of you go look for Lady Silverhall. Alright? We do this fast. We'll all have time to get home for breakfast, and my wife will be real angry if I'm not home for breakfast, so make my life easy.
If you don't mind, I might just put my armor on. I wasn't sleeping in it, and it takes a minute to put back on.
Yeah, live your best life. You're the
Thank
one
you.
who's good with questions.
I'll be back in just a moment.
You're the one who's good with questions, right?
Well, I can ensure that people tell the truth more so than ask the right questions.
Little gnome guy, you take him with you and go see the brothers.
Yeah,
Sounds
okay.
like a plan.
You two ladies and go find Lady Silverhall, and you do whatever you want. Points to Qrowe.
And he
Wow, that's
will.
some
He's gonna
racist
try and find the head of the
He
household.
intends to.
He's gonna go after Lord Burkstaff.
Yes. For a
Okay.
very simple, quote unquote, request.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna write this down.
Ooh. Do I remember where Silverhall's room is? Did I ever?
It's right next door to Harriet's room.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's start there.
Connor, how late are we going today?
We're ending at 9:30, so we got a few more minutes.
Okay. that's where we're stopping for today then.
All right.
Woo!
We got ourselves a gosh dang murder mystery on our hands.
We got a mystery on our hands, King.
Oh God.
Wow.
Because
Like Zoinks, who brought the
when we
spooky
come
snacks.
back on the 31st, because I'm going camping next week, woohoo! Some shit's gonna go down, and
Oh,
I'm
boy.
very, very excited about it.
Okay.
Yo.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Other than that, quick outro. If you're watching the stream, thank you so much. If you're watching the VOD, also thank you so much. If you haven't followed me yet, I would love it if you did. If you haven't followed me yet and you want to subscribe while you're watching, I would love it if you did that. If you're watching on, all right, Kim.
Sorry, we got to get back into the swing
Yeah,
of things. I'm
that's fair.
sorry.
Don't take my thing, Kim.
I'm sorry. We
She
didn't
just
do
said
a
me is-
Twitch streamer, Tall Lanky guy.
Don't take my things, Kim. Let me have things.
Then go for it. I wanted to make sure we
I
got it
want
for
them
the
to
outro.
murder Aunty Brist the next chance they
Well,
get.
now that you told me to do it, I don't want to.
All right, then don't.
And there it is.
There it is.
Anyway,
I just looked at stream and I saw Connor's fucking face as what happened, and it was
Oh, yeah.
everything I needed today. Full
Oh,
reward.
yeah. And if you're watching on YouTube, and you haven't liked, commented, subscribed, or ringled the dingle,
Ringle the dingle.
you can do those.
Careful, you don't want to get Twitch banned for that.
My
Is that-
ringle dingled.
How would that happen?
Please don't wringle my dingle.
I'm not gonna wringle your dingle.
Only ringle my dingle, essentially.
There's a dingle that can be wringled. It doesn't necessarily belong to anyone. It's just there.
Just take me to dinner first.
Or don't.
Don't wringle my dingle until at least the third day.
Yeah.
In any case, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.
Okay, love you, everyone. Bye.